Sometimes I'm asked, are you a dhammatube monk or a Mahanikai monk ordained in Buddhist tradition or dhammatube or whatever? And I usually answer, I ordained as a samana in the Dhamma Vinaya of the Blessed One. And that's exactly the wording when you ask for the going forth and for upasampada, for the acceptance into the order of the bhikkhus. So what is a samana? Is someone who seeks the truth and following the path which the Buddha has shown. And the first step to be a samana in the gradual training is to follow the rules, the Vinaya rules. And Patimokkha, Vinaya, this is not much in fashion nowadays anymore. It doesn't have a good name, like asceticism, very austere, sinister things to talk about, but it's not like that. Vinaya is our sila as bhikkhus, is our ethical guideline, is our moral framework for purifying the mind. Without it, nothing can be achieved. But Vinaya is not only a set of rules and like laws to be obeyed and something to be neurotic about and to be tense about. Vinaya is something very beautiful. It's a way of perfecting one's behavior together with the korvat or the monastic etiquette. Can be something very beautiful, and reflecting, contemplating these rules and trying to become better and better. And we'll never be able to fulfill them all and to be perfect and to be 100% pure, when it's like a geometrical curve which never touches the axis but gets ever closer and closer. And being together with monks who do practice Vinaya is something very inspiring. There's a certain grace in their behavior, and it's very helpful for one's own practice. And samadhi becomes something very natural, then letting go. The crucial points of the Vinaya, of course, there are the 4 parajika rules. You never do them, otherwise you're out for this lifetime. And the Sangha-Sesa rules, well, one tries not to fall into those offenses, and people who have done it, it's quite bothersome to clear them up. But there are also some, in the suttas you find some hints by the Buddha who points out which things are important, and some of those things, like one sutta which speaks about 4 things that make the holy life not shine forth, make it not radiant, and 3 of the things mentioned are not severe offenses according in a legalistic way of looking at it, and that's using money, and it's drinking intoxicants. These are just pachitya and nisakriya pachitya offenses. And the last one, wrong livelihood, you can't even point to a certain class of offenses. There might be some might not even be an offense. It's like making samana life into a livelihood, turning it into a priestly business. But unfortunately nowadays in Thailand, I would say 95% of the monks don't have good Vinaya, and they do behave like a caste of priests and not as samanas anymore. There is a crucial question, and that's, do you use money? If you are willing to put up with the little inconveniences of not using money, you're willing to, then you can follow all the rules. But if you think it's not necessary to follow these rules, then your general attitude to the Vinaya is that, well, that's not important, you can break all the rules except maybe for the 4 parajikas, or even those. The Buddha called those people who are corrupt in a way yellow necks or club members, and the Thais call them yellow tigers. So it's not a new phenomenon. But there have always been corrupt monks. But in the last 100 years there has been a very strong monastic forest tradition, the tradition of Lumpo Mang, and this can be explained quite easily how it came about. Karmic causes and conditions. There are beings who have highly developed paramis, who are ready to do their last round and become arahants in this lifetime. And they, of course, they are born in a country where the conditions are very conducive. And Thailand has never been a colony, it hasn't had the problem of a corrupt sangha. There used to be a lot of forest. People, most of them were Buddhists and supported the monks really well. So a large number of ajahns have popped up, really amazing beings with incredible insights and powers and abilities. But they are dying out. Now we are in the last stage. This is the dusk of the forest tradition. There are not many great ajahns following, and a lot of fake arahants are coming. So those who are ready to finish their job, I think in the future they will be born elsewhere. Here in Sri Lanka there is a revival of the forest tradition, and the situation is getting better now. Maybe even in the West, who knows? Because there are another 2,500 years left of this asana.